Look, I know I didn't make a progress video last time, so I'll do one for this video and pretend like everything's fine. Let's not talk about it. So first off, I started this part about 4 months ago before I started school, and as soon as school did start, I animated most of it, but I left it to sit in the dust. Despite this being somewhat an old animation, I still like how it came out. I wish I changed some aspects of it, but we'll get back to that later. My process is essentially the same as last time. So this is the rough draft I presented when the host asked me for an update. At first I just wanted to tell them that I finished my rough draft, but I decided to send them this video instead, since the map needed parts ASAP. Oops. Anyways, as you could probably already tell, this is a color palette map. For the homies who don't know what the heck that means, the map host made color guidelines for the animators to follow. I usually like these types of maps because I'm still learning how to compose a scene. This helps me focus on something other than color and value. I also made a rough drawing of my character in this palette so I wouldn't have to do it later. Small side note, her name is Eden. She's a cat that's not a cat. I featured her in some map parts a few years ago. That's about as much as I'm explaining it. We're moving on. I didn't talk about this in the rough draft portion, but I wanted to add plenty of unique shots in this part. When it comes to animation, I've noticed a lot of people like to keep their shots either close-ups or medium shots. To be honest, it's way easier to do these shots in the first place. These types of shots leave room for facial expression and dynamic movement. With differing perspectives, take for example the Don't Do Sadness part I did earlier, I realized I couldn't do that with the script restriction. But I liked how the end product came out. For that, I kind of took inspiration from Ghibli movies, I'm a nerd, should be, specifically Kiki's Delivery Service, which includes plenty of far-out shots in natural settings. You can see in the portion with the crows and grass, although it's not the greatest animation in the world, that composition choice helped with the message I wanted to convey. With this former map part in mind, I implemented these camera shots into this part. I wanted to close in on Zeden as she initially falls, making the scene cluttered, then zoom out to illustrate her discovery, and so on. I'd like to mention, away from camera shots and whatever, for this part I wanted to animate detailed movements, similar to the Don't Do Sadness and Limbo map parts I did earlier. I'm usually impatient when it comes to small details, so these 3 map parts helped out with training my patience. I've gotten better with the line work too. Although I wish I animated that last scene a bit better, maybe because I ran out of steam or something, I don't know. This may all sound nice and dandy. The map part is done, I accomplished some goals, and life is good. However, just like last time, I made a grave mistake. Look here, children. I like keeping things consistent with my map part, as you see here. But with focusing on that, I drew her hair in the opposite direction. You might say I could flip the map part and it'd be fine, but nope, in the last 3 scenes everything is fine. You may say I could flip half the map part, but I can't, because everything would be facing the same direction and that would be weird. I didn't think I'd mess up my own character. Overall, the map was fairly easy to work with. I accomplished some goals, like cleaner line work and camera effects. I didn't stick to the character design and I feel I could have done better art-wise, i.e. using the color palette when planning the part instead of last minute deciding everything. Also, this part got turned in 40 years late, so yeah. Either way, it's a good learning lesson. Hopefully I'll do better with the next animation.